Well, good afternoon. Um, just thought I'd give you all a bit of an update on how my journey's been going. I've just returned from a trip up north to visit some family and to register a van that I've bought. Um, so I'm about to get back to this project down here with my sailboat and what's left of my previous boats and the legal problems that I have to resolve there yet. What I want to share with you this morning is what I believe are God's providential dealings in my life. These things have occurred to me from my youth. They're odds defying situations and circumstances that I can't remember them all for the number. And at some point, I will relay to you how, in my 6 years of sailing, the events and the people and things that occurred, God's deliverances and so forth. But without taking the time to do that, I just want to reflect a little bit on just some of the highlights that convince me that God is dealing in my life in a special way. These are like odds defying miracle leadings. Some small, some big. Now, when I come down here from traveling overseas, I didn't know what to do when I come down the coast. My sister's on the Gulf side, and I'm thinking, do I want to get a boat? Do I want to fly? Some sort of a, and so I go ahead. I buy this sailboat down here, and it had to be moved from where it was down near the Don Ross Bridge. That was part of the reason I got a good deal on it, right? And so, and I tried moving it with a little trolling motor, and I get stuck in this rich area. And of course, like Jupiter and like down here in Riviera Beach, they didn't approve of my style or quality of living. So within a couple of days, someone towed me, nice enough to get me out of that area. And at their discretion, they dropped me right before the bridge up there, Indiantown Bridge up there in Jupiter. Well, they dropped me a very short distance from Jonathan's Landing. He was a sailor that had been sailing and got stranded and whatnot. You can look up Jonathan Dickinson's story, right? So they dropped me right next to Jonathan's Landing. And then I'm there and I'm working on this boat. And I finally set sail. By the time I get down to the Riviera Beach area, I realize the motors I have are not going to be sufficient to go on much of a journey like I'd hoped, right? So, of all places, I see a little beach here and docking areas. So this is called Riviera Beach. And I continue to build my floating home structure vessel. Riviera Beach, the exact same municipality that Fane Lozman, right, had a floating vessel structure, huge court case to the Supreme Court, right? He was right there. And here I come without knowing any of that, and I'm right in their face. And then I end up winning the one case as to my floating structure. So, no big deal, right? Well, one of the top of the list, and actually I have a book here where I've begun to list, trying to recall some of these events, trying to recall some of these events, and just to show you what's happening. Uh, what inspired me to to write this, to do this little video right now, is one of the I put it right up there on the top 10 on this list of events. So I'm up visiting my daughter, and up in the Asheville, North Carolina area. We go to a supermarket, and when she comes out, she realizes she's lost her boggin, and it's a special sentimental boggin that she liked, and she didn't want to leave without that boggin. And so, okay, I'll go back in with you to the store. I began telling her of an episode 50 plus years ago when I was a young man, and I had been in a supermarket and dropped on the floor, evidently, my $20 bill that I had to purchase some things. And anyhow, I didn't realize I dropped it till after I got home. I must have smelled the money too. I don't remember. All I know is I got home and I realized, oh my, I've lost a $20 bill. So that's like an hour later. And I go back into the store. And early in, as I start down an aisle, boom, there's that $20 bill, right? Here I am going into the store with my daughter, and I'm just relating. Well, you never know. Maybe you'll find that hat here. I said one time I lost this $20 bill, and I went back in the store, and there it was laying in the aisle. I looked down, and boom, there it was. She looks down at that moment, and there's a $10 bill. Odds defying. Odd enough to find a $10 bill. But more odd that I was telling her that story, and just when I made that gesture, there was that $10 bill. Half what I got. Maybe she got half what I got. I don't know. But friend, I can tell you more stories. You may say, he's a crazy old man. And yet, I've seen these things in my life. So, for what it may mean or what it may be worth, I just wanted to share that with you, and let's see where we go. I don't know. Okay. Hey, by the way, it's Christmas Day, and I'm back here at my friend Xavier's house, and it's peaceful, and I'm glad to be back, and looking forward. Yes, still having hope, still having vision. You all have a blessed time and have a good vision for the new year. Won't take much to make it better than 2020, right? So by God's grace, we're all going to have a blessed new year and improvement over the past. Okay, make some resolutions. Look at some things that you say, you did or you were doing or shouldn't do or you need to change. Okay. And because if it's not of faith, it's called sin. If whatever that is, if you're not sure that God's stamp of approval is on it, it's sin for you, whatever that may be. Okay, so examine yourselves. If you be in the faith, as I do, a lot of soul searching. You go on a trip, you visit places you've been before, meet people. Cause me to do a lot of self-examination. Okay, I'll catch you all later. Thanks for following my story.